This Albion Online video is about how to craft for profit. We're going to be covering how to find stuff to craft for profit, how to do the basic math to see if you profit, and I'm going to do this without spreadsheets or online tools or third-party programs or assistance from websites. Just how you as a person, you can log in, look at the market, and then do a few test runs, so to speak, to see if you'll make any money. Let's get into it. Let's go. So first things first, we're going to start by talking about enchanting gear to sell as a profit versus crafting it already enchanted. So we have the market open, and then let's just go to Brawler Gloves, not Glover, Brawler Gloves, and then we'll go to Tier 4. So right now, in Bridgewatch, Brawler Gloves are insanely cheap, 2,500, and we scroll down, and that price holds for quite a while, a whole page, right? 2,500 all the way down to 3,500 with an average market price of 4,000. So that means in other towns right now, the Brawler Gloves will be more expensive. So first and foremost, we're just going to switch the enchantment here to 0.1 or enchantment level 1 and see how much more the price rises. It really shouldn't rise more than 3,000 to 4,000. Okay, well, not enchantment 3. That's not what I wanted. Enchantment 1 is risen to 20,000. Look at this. 20 to 30,000, right? No one's going to pay 30,000, hopefully. I hope not. But you'll notice that that's a pretty big price. That's a pretty big difference in price. So what I can do is we're going to do two tests. We're going to see, should I just enchant and sell this, or should I craft it and sell it? So here's how we're going to do this. We're just going to buy these Brawler Gloves, and that's 2,590 silver. Now, to enchant it, we're going to need 384 runes. This is going to cost us right now 5,376 silver, which we could technically get cheaper if we were to do a buy order, but I don't really care too much about buy orders. I just want some quick sales. If I were to buy order this, I could do it at 9 silver at 384, and that would cut my cost down by a couple thousand, a little under 2,000, but that's not very important because I already know this is going to make a pretty big profit. So right now, without doing the full math, the two items that we have adds up to about 7,000, under 8,000 essentially. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this item to the Artifact Foundry, and there is no charge whenever you do this because we have the runes and we have the item, and we're just going to turn this into a 0.1 weapon. So we're just going to go to Enchant Equipment here on the left side, put the weapon in, pay the 384 runes, and there we go. Now we have a 0.1 weapon, which we can sell back on the market. And now if we take this item and sell it, 1 silver undercutting the next sell order, we're going to make 18,396. And so that is a total profit of 10,430 silver. So we already know that that makes silver. So what you can do is continually buy runes and buy those Brawler Gloves. And you can maybe, depending on how much people are buying them, you are making money, assuming someone doesn't mass craft them and dump them into the market, in which case you're going to be sitting on inventory for a while. Now, this may or may not work in every town, and trying to find items where this works is as follows. You just simply open the market, and then you just go to category, and you would go to weapon. And this is all changing on the 30th, so the categories are going to be a little bit different. But you can just go to melee, you can go to axe, you can go to tier 4. And so we have a battle axe, so that's 2,000 on the battle axe. And then we can type battle axe with the 0.1 here, and that's 5,000. So we know that the amount of runes for a one-handed weapon, it's half as much as a two-handed weapon. But that's a small amount of profit, right? So that's not a big one. But you would just go through every little category and check until you find a good one. So what about crafting it? Well, we need 20 4.1 leathers and 12 4.1 bars. We also, if you're crafting in bulk, which you should when you craft, you want a journal for whatever thing you're crafting. In this case, a blacksmith journal. And then you want to go to the cheapest stall in the city. So here's the Warrior's Forge. I'm going to left-click that. That's going to highlight all of the other forges that are currently fed. And we want to go to one with the cheapest usage fee, which this one right here is 370, and that is the cheapest right now in Bridgewatch. So we go here, we click only show craftable from inventory, we go to Brawler's Gloves, we're going to make that 0.1, and we have the materials. Now we also need to factor in how much it's going to cost to craft. So that is craft cost will be 426. And we'll go ahead and craft this. And what's also important is when we have this empty journal, we want to see how much one craft fills up this journal. That's also important for the math. So we're going to go ahead and craft this. There we go. Now we have the Brawler's Gloves crafted. All right. So here is the math on the journals. So one craft gives us 1,440 fame out of 3,600 required to fill the journal, as you can see here. And that means we need to craft 5 of these items to fill 2 journals. That way the journals are filled evenly without any hangover. One filled journal will sell for 2,794, which is really not much profit compared to how much the journal costs. You can squeeze more profit out of this with laborers, which is highly recommended. However, not everyone has laborers, and I'm not going to spend a whole 21 hours or whatever it is to figure out how much profit on average we could get from these. That's just too much work. But it's usually not much more than the sell value price, though you do get the journal back if you choose to use laborers, which would negate the 2,100 silver cost. All right, now here is the total cost without journal for buying all the things, 14,938. And then when we sell the leftover materials and the item we got, this is how much profit we have. We sell it all for 19,944 for a profit of 5,006. So how do you calculate the journal profit if you aren't using laborers? Well, here you go. We'd have to craft 5 of these items. So we take the amount of profit, times it by 5, that's 25,000. Then we take the profit, subtract it from the cost of the 2 journals, that's 20,830. Then we add the 2 sold filled journals, making it 26,418. You divide that by 5 for an average profit of 5,283.6. So that means by using those tier 4 blacksmith journals, we get around 200 something extra silver for it. So it's not really that much. It's still something though, but that is squeezing out every penny that you can. And again, you get more if you have your own laborers. You get a significant amount more. This number would be at least 7,000 something silver in profit. But is that better than just enchanting? Well, let's find out. So right now, with the math that we just did, with the trial that we just did, and I'm just going to trash this journal because I'm not going to use it. Enchanting gave us 10,430 profit, and it was way easier to do. Whereas crafting, we make about 5,000 profit with no journal, 5.2k if we sold the journal, and 7.2k if we use laborers. Now, I will say, even though this is almost a 3 to 5k silver difference, crafting it also benefits your character because whenever you craft things, you are adding experience points to your destiny board, and the more you craft, the higher level stuff you can craft, and the more specialized you will get in your crafting. So, it's okay to not make as much silver if you want to become a crafter in that field of weapons, though at the end of the day, yeah, crafting an item, with focus gives you the biggest return, and it really pays dividends later on. However, due to higher tier items and spreadsheet nerds and sweat lords that slave over this game, when you get to that level of crafting, if you don't have a guild with a Blackzone hideout for crafting, you will almost always break even, and even those guys usually just break even, because what happens is guilds that fight each other in the black zones, they're all crafting stuff for their guilds, not so much for profit. And then whenever there's big fights and everyone dies and, one guild loots the other, that's when they sell the items. And those items are almost always sold at cost. So if you're like a completionist, then craft. If not, find a cheaper way to acquire the item. Now, I did, in my previous video, talk about flipping, and there's one other way. Let's go back to the Brawler Glove example, right? And I put Baller Glove. I know my spelling's been off lately. I guess I'm just going schizo. But instead of crafting, the glove, well, in this case, there's 6 buy orders for 10k. But if I put a buy order for 1, 6, 7, 8, and once these 6 buy orders get fulfilled, Well, that would be even more profit. That would be way more profitable than enchanting or crafting the item. So that's another option. That's market flipping, though. That's not crafting. And this video is all about crafting. But let's talk about some other forms of crafting. Now, let's talk about potion crafting with and without focus. And the reason I'm choosing potion crafting is because this Swole Benji character is my potion crafting alt character, believe it or not. It is an alt character. And it has completely maximum potion crafting. So, what we're going to do is we're going to first craft some potions without focus and show you if we make a profit or not. I don't know until I do it, okay? I'm not doing the spreadsheets. I'm not doing, math beforehand. And so we're going to go to the cheapest alchemy station here in Bridgewatch. They're all pretty much maximum price, so I guess it doesn't really matter which one I pick. They're all overcharging like crazy, okay? But here's the ingredients that I have, and here is what I did. So I went on the market and I set buy orders so I can get these materials as cheap as possible without growing them myself. So here is all the ingredients, and yes, they're kind of like randomly, they're not all bunched up, but that's how I bought them with the buy orders. You buy a little bit at a time. All right. Anyway, what's important is this total number right here, 530,699. All right. So to craft 2 sets of these major acid potions without focus, 30,780 silver, bringing our total cost for this crafting session to 561,479. Again, this hurts to do because I'm a max potion crafter, so I'm throwing money away here, but it's fine. We're going to go ahead and craft these, and we're going to see if we make any money. All right, if we don't, we probably won't lose that much, but server's going down for a restart. It's in the middle of the day. What? What is happening? Dang it. Well, that's going to be annoying. Anyway, dude, it's 2100 UTC. Why? There must have been a dupe method or something crazy going on. I don't know what's happening, but let's try to get the numbers real quick. All right, and here is the numbers when selling. Just the 20 acid potions sell for 625,000. You can see that already beats the total of crafting it, but I also get those materials back. So selling the materials that I got back without focus, mind you, adds up to 665,486. And when I subtract the total cost of everything, that puts our profit at 104,007 silver. And that is without focus. So what that means is that if I was leveling up my potion crafting, that means I could max out acid potions, your acid brewer. I could technically max this out and make money doing it. So leveling this to 100 would be completely free, mostly, given enough time to sell the potions. That's pretty cool. Alright, so these servers are down. However, I have done another video that's coming out on June 30th. Yes, it's another best start video where I also talk about the profits. And I'm just going to show you essentially the numbers from this video, alright? So in Brazilian, you get a crafting bonus to potions. Alright, so in this example, it's the exact same potion. And here's the shopping list just like before. And let's get to the important numbers. The total that we spent on the exact same thing that we just did, 522,540. And the cost to craft the 2 potions, a little bit cheaper this time, only 8,000 silver instead of 30,000. The prices in Brazilian are way better. And this time we are going to be using focus. So there you go. Now at maximum potion crafting, to craft 2 sets of these potions, it costs 573 focus. And because you get 10,000 focus a day, this means that I can do this craft 17 total times. All right. And so let me just skip forward. And so here we go. Now I'm doing the cells. And then here is all the numbers, right? This is after selling everything. Again, the 20 potions sell for 650,000, right? And then here's the returned materials. You'll notice the returned materials are much higher due to not only because I focus crafted them, but because it's in the return bonus city. All right? And here we go. So this means that we made 787,469 silver. And then after subtracting the cost of spending the silver, our profit is 256,861. And because I can do this 17 times a day if I have premium active, because that's how much focus it costs. That means I can make 4.366 million profit per day times 30 days is all these numbers. Let me skip ahead here. And then the cost of premium currently, when I recorded that video that you're looking at, which is not released yet, premium was 29.3 million. So that means after all that cost of premium, that my character can generate 101 million silver monthly just crafting potions. And, that's 100 million silver profit, right? So pretty good stuff. And so the sooner you get into crafting, the better. Now, besides just crafting for profit, which is what this video is about, if you are a PvPer who PvPs for profit, then getting your PvP set as cheap as possible is what you want to do. And I believe in my PvP video, which may not be out yet, but you can see here that I'm trying to buy this 4.3 Adept's Phase Scale robe for 350,000, where it's normally 489,000. So that's, for me, the cheapest way to get my armor piece. However, I can also just craft it myself if I want to. So here we go. We have the Fey Dorsal Wing for 300k. We'll take that. And then we have the 16 4.3 cloth for 131k. So right away, that's 431k about, which is still... Fetching process was aborted. I didn't mean click... What? It claimed everything. Whoops. I guess I clicked claim all, so that's a whoopsie there. And now, normally I would get some Imbuer's journals. However, currently on the market, the empty ones are more expensive than the full ones, and I already have some full ones for sale. So, I'm just doing this for a video, but normally you would want to craft with some journals to get more profit, but it's not really available on this market, and I don't feel like switching cities and doing math, so I'm just going to craft it without journals, so what? So right now, we know that market flipping would be the cheapest way to get this armor, but other than that, just buying the dorsal wing and the cloth would also be a very cheap way to get it rather than buying it outright. However, there's one other thing to consider as well, and that is if you ordered these materials at a very cheap cost, selling them and then buying the armor might actually be better. So let's take a look at the market. So right now, if I undercut everyone, I'm only going to be making about... Well, I bought it for 300k, and then after taxes, because I don't have premium on this character, I'm pretty much breaking even from what I paid for this. So that's not what I want to do. As far as this one goes, I would make 10k silver off of this. So it's not something that I would want to resell. So in this case, the better choice is to just craft the damn armor. Now, if I'm a patient gamer, I could wait until the bonus day, and also I could go and craft this in a bonus city so that I can get even more returns. But, if you're a PvPer, you don't have, months to wait around for the bonus day to craft it in the bonus city. So this is just a cheaper way to acquire your gear. And so you'll see that the crafting cost is only 1,400 something silver. We can go ahead and craft this. We're going to get some of the cloth back. There we go. We got 3 cloth back, saving us an additional 30k. So while this cost 400k initially to craft, it's really more of a 370k, which is only 20,000 more than waiting for someone to sell it to us on the market, aka market flipping. And yeah, I know that this is just normal quality, and to enchant, or not enchant, but to raise the quality will cost a bit of silver if you care about squeezing out 20 to 60 additional item power, or if you're lucky, you can even get a masterpiece. But let's find out. The price to re-roll the quality here, only 12,000. Well, that's pretty good. So there we go, and we actually got outstanding, which is better than good. So, yeah, not bad. We got it pretty cheap, and we could technically resell this for a decent amount. So, all in all, I paid about 382,000 silver, and if I wanted to sell this thing back on the market, also, someone has already overcut me by quite a bit here. That's interesting. I guess the market is very lively right now. Yikes. Anyway, well, no, never mind. I still have the top order on good, so that's good. But yeah, I don't need to pay extra for outstanding. But anyway, I could resell this, make 450,000 back. And because, again, I paid like, what, 382,000? That's pretty good profit, 70k, just for doing a few things. And then, of course, selling this back, another 27k. So, pretty good. Not bad. About 100K profit. And really, all you have to do to find deals is just randomly shop around, and when you notice things are a high price, like for instance, I was checking earlier for 4.2 items, and I went to Mist Piercer. I don't know why people would have a 4.2 Mist Piercer, but here we are. Checking the 4-week sales forecast, you can see about 6 sold there, 4, 2, 0, 5, 4, 5. So they are selling. There is someone out there buying these. I don't know why you would use a 4.2 Mist Piercer ever, but you can note, you'll see. These things are worth 185,000 essentially, and then they go down to 190, 197, 199, and so on and so forth, right? I guess people are buying these to study them or something. I'm not really sure. But the point is that I know we can craft these for cheaper, and here's how. I'm going to click on the item. You can see the items that we need to craft it. 32 4.2 planks, and one of these immaculately crafted risers. So all I got to do is go type crafted riser, clear my search parameters. We'll see that one of these is about 70,000, 71,000 if you want to round up. And then I can type plank, set it to 4.2, and 32 planks is going to cost me 38,000. So it cost me 108,000 plus the crafting fee, which won't be much. It resells for 188,000. Well, that's profit. That's pure profit right there. So I can craft a few of these if I want, fill some journals, get some crafting XP, put it on the market, and then, a week or two later, it'll sell easily enough, and we just earn free silver, and we're leveling up our character doing so. Now, not all of these will work, and let me show you an example. So if I just type siege bow, which is a crossbow, you'll notice that the first one that pops up is a tier 5 item. Well, that's weird. Tier 4 is lower than tier 5. Why is the tier 5 cheaper? And I'll show you. So we scroll down for a while, and we eventually find a tier 4 here for 38,000. Why would you buy the tier 4 when you can buy a tier 5, which is stronger for much cheaper? Well, here's why it's more expensive, okay? And this is an item that you would not want to try to craft for profit. So you'll see that the ingredients are pretty cheap. 20 planks at 269 each. That's not too much. And then 12 bars at 258 each. That's not going to cost you anything. And then you click on this, the alluring bolts, and it's worth 4,000. You're like, oh, jackpot. I can craft these and make, 30,000 whatever silver. No, you can't. So if we search for alluring bolts, you'll see that the first ones listed are tier 5. We scroll down. Then we have still tier 5. Now we have tier 6 alluring bolts. Uh-oh. And basically what happened is there's no tier 4 alluring bolts, and the only ones that are on the market are for 69,000, meaning I don't know why no one's going to be buying this or crafting tier 4 siege bows until this price goes down. So if we look at the market, you'll see that it crashed down, several days ago. And it's been up here for a while at 4,000. But essentially, it must have been today or yesterday or a couple of days ago. Someone bought basically all of them on the market for 4,000. And these are the only ones that remain. I guess it's a whale. Someone bought 40 that day and so on and so forth. Now, if you want, you could craft alluring bolts and try to sucker someone into buying this who needs to craft tier 4 to go to tier 5, but that's probably not going to happen. But that would require 50 relics being gambled, and then you have to do the math on the relic gambling. And essentially, this is not something you could profit off of. Now, when I say a high-priced item, I don't mean in the hundreds of thousands of silver. I mean this. If we click on, just a basic old 4.1 cape, you'll notice 24% above market average. If we set it to 4 weeks down here, average price is normally 4,000. Well, it's selling, again, it's above right now. And you'll notice that the sales volume, 544 yesterday, today 339. There's a lot of sales volume here, so there's potential here. So to craft a cape, we just need 4 cloth and 4 leather. So we can just type cloth at 4.1. 4 of those will cost us 1,388. And then leather, 4 of those will cost us another 1,400. So, if we add those two numbers together, we're basically making profit, right? So let's go ahead and just make one real quick and see how much we get back. We should get 1 back each. There we go. And then we can go craft ourselves a cape real fast. You can see here, it only costs 236 silver to craft, so we're still making a profit no matter what, okay? Now, you would normally want to do this with Fletcher's journals and fill up, journals and mass craft, right? Because we already make a profit. With the Fletcher's journals, we would make an even bigger profit. There we go. And we got a cloth back. We didn't get a leather back, so that's unfortunate. But, this cloth is worth $373. So there's a chance we wouldn't get a cloth back either, meaning that we would just get the cape's value of 4.9K right now, or 4K. Even at the regular market price, it's still a profit, but at the current market price, it's even more of a profit, right? And this one is just a regular cape. It's not even, good quality or anything, which doesn't matter. Is that guy? What's that guy doing? He's trying to, he's just casting spells out here, out in the shops. He's causing a ruckus. But, if you do happen to get the cloth back and a leather back, well, then that's a plus 600 to your profits. And again, with the Fletcher's journals, I didn't check the math on it, but you just have to do the math as explained earlier. Fletcher, let's see, Fletcher, tier 4. So empty ones are 2,000, and then full ones are 3.9K, so almost double. So absolutely worth it to fill those journals. So you would go and you would mass craft capes, in which case I'm just going to, undercut there. There we go. And then undercut this, and there we go. So again, that's, you may be thinking, well, if you craft one cape, you're not profiting that much, but if you craft 100 capes, think about it, right? I paid maybe 3,000 silver total, right? Not even. 1,400 times 2, that's 2,800. The crafting fee was 2,900. And then, yeah. So, I barely paid 3,000 silver. I'm making 4,000, something silver. Times 100, all right, that would be 100K silver right there if I crafted 100 capes. And, like I said, you are leveling up your crafting. What is my cape crafting is at 28? Whoop-de-doo. And my cape specialty is 7. Now, imagine that you have cape tailoring specialist at 100, okay? And you have this at 100. That's going to lower your focus cost tremendously, as explained earlier, and you would be able to take a huge advantage of the market. Oh, and earlier when I said Fletcher journals, I meant Tinkerer journals. So here's Tinkerer, and then if you fill them up, it's 3.4K. So yeah, we definitely want to get these, and then we want to see how much fame we get when we fill one of these. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. So crafting one 4.1 cape is going to give the journal completion 360 out of 3,600. The math on that is very simple. It's every 10 capes we craft fills up a journal. And I can craft about, I think, 98 more capes. So that's not too bad. So here's my take. Because we already make a profit, I don't need to min-max profits even more by going to the bonus crafting city. I think for bags and capes, it's Brazilian. I could be wrong on that. I'm not going to worry too much about it. But what I want you to look at now is I'm going to craft 98 more of these capes or more, because I'm going to get return materials anyway. And right now my estimated market value is 333,000. And again, we're just going to craft all of these. We're going to pay 23,000. So what you want to do is take your crafting cost, add it to the estimated market value. So that would be 356. We'll round it to 357K. So if this number goes above 357K, we made a profit, and we already know that we're going to make a profit. I'm going to skip ahead for you. And yes, there's going to be someone in the comments screaming, why didn't you eat a salad? You should have ate a salad so that your crafting speed is faster and you get higher quality crafts. My crafting specialization is so low that a salad wouldn't really matter, and I don't really care. All right, we're done crafting. We actually hit a masterpiece cape, which is funny. That's extra money right there, 23,000 instead of 4.5K. So that's neat. That usually doesn't happen though. But yeah, you can see that our estimated market value is now 512K. So basically, I took money that I had and I've not quite doubled it, but got a 50% return, right? Kind of, sort of. And again, I can keep crafting capes and continue to fill up this journal here. It's at 3240. I think that's one more craft. Yeah, I'm going to craft one more cape, so we have 101 capes, just so I can fill this journal up and, go ahead and sell that. So there we go, one more cape, boom, done. We got the 10 journals filled. And again, we still have leftover materials, which we could just sell back to the shop. And if I were to buy order these instead of just quick buy them, because I just quick bought them for the video, and I'm making a profit anyway. So technically, all one person has to do is once you find this crafting niche, One person with enough silver can buy out all of the leather and all of the cloth, and then flood the market with capes until either the price of the cloth and leather go up to the point where the capes aren't worth crafting, or the price of the capes goes down to where they're not worth crafting. That's how the market essentially works. So if I wanted to, I could keep crafting capes, and looking at my cape specialization now, I'm at, 32 and level 8. I don't know what they were before, I've already forgotten. So doing some quick math, if I just need 4 cloth and 4 leather, if I buy these at 500 silver each, that's a break even because it's 5, 10, 15, 20 times 2, that's 4,000. The crafting fee is 4,200 minus taxes, yada, yada, yada. So I don't want to pay more than 500 for each of these, but you'll notice that there's not a lot of big stacks of fine cloth here. So 361, 365, like, you know, I can craft another 100 or so capes before the market here in Bridgewatch starts to run out. And again, cloth prices are rising rather rapidly, of course. Now, another thing, too, is that if I buy out all the cheap cloth, you know, all the way down here to this stack of 600 silver each, I could just resell the cloth at $5.99 in profit, right? And definitely don't want to pay this much, but there's way more leather right now. You can see, like, I can scroll all the way down until leather hits the 400 price point, and there's still lots of big stacks of leather. So if I want, I would have to shop at other towns for cloth and then haul it over, which can take 7 to 14 minutes, depending on which path you take and if you use an ox, a boar, or a mammoth. Also, fun fact, in order to get cape specialization from level 8 to 100 without learning points or premium, I would have to craft about 63,700 something 4.1 capes. There's not enough materials on all of the markets combined for me to do that many, so it's not really something I would want to do. And to sell through that many capes would take a stupidly long amount of time. So checking Limhurst's market, you'll notice that cloth is also pretty expensive here because, it is the cloth refining place. People will buy these so that they can refine. Leather, also expensive here, despite them having skinnable animals in their territories. So, and then cape, just regular old 4.1 capes are way cheaper here by almost 2,000 silver, okay? And remember at the start of the video, whenever I showed you the Brawler's gloves were like 2,000 in Bridgewatch? Well, I can't spell. Brawler glove, all right? Flat 4 Brawler gloves here are 22,000. Why? What happened? Look, a whale bought them all. That's what happened, okay? So, you know what that means. Buy a whole bunch of Brawler gloves at Bridgewatch and then ship them on over. Or, in this case, we could probably maybe just craft them for a profit as well. Let's see, 20 tier 4 leather? Well, 20 leather is going to cost us 4,000. And then, what was it, 12 bars? 12 bars is another 3,000. So there you go. There's another thing of profit. And you may be thinking, no one's going to be buying Brawler gloves in Limhurst because it's so expensive. Well, someone's paying 7,000 for them that, here and there. And, someone will buy them. You never know. The thing is, you craft them, you put them up for sale. Because you can craft them so cheap, you didn't really lose any money if they don't sell. You can always just enchant them. Look at that. The enchantment from 4.0 to 4.1 is barely any different. So you just have to look through the markets and find these absolutely crazy, bogus, bonker deals. Guys, I just can't stop finding deals. All you gotta do is just go through the catalog and just look at stuff. So here's another one. Leering Cane 4.1s. I just searched Leering Cane, by the way. And 4.1 Leering Cane, 27,000. And check out the sales amounts. 3, 9, 25, 16. So it's an okay amount, right? You don't want to go crazy like on the capes. But you could still craft these and make a big profit. Let me show you. It requires a hellish handle. So we're going to search hellish handle. And look at that. That's like 5.5k right there. Okay. Leering Cane. And I misspelt it. Whatever. I don't care. 4 cloth and 4 planks. Okay. So again, cloth pretty cheap right now. Let's get the 4.1 cloth, though. 4.1 cloth, you know, 4 of those, 1.4k. And plank, you know, 4 of those. 1,200 something? Yeah, 1,248. So there we go. We spend like less than 8,000 silver. And then we can make a leering cane that's worth 28,000, right? So that's just free money. You just gotta find the deals. Alright, so let's do my favorite healing weapon, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm doing my favorite healing weapon. Not just because I want to use it in PvP or like Blackzone stuff, but the current activity is 20% Holy Staff Day, alright? So that means whenever you look at a town, you can see that the crafting bonus for Holy Staff is plus 20%. I don't know which town off the top of my head has a better bonus for Holy Staff, because I'm in Bridgewatch. I'm just going to check Bridgewatch. So, 4.2 Life Touch Staff. This thing is an absolute monster to fight in a 1v1. It's also great for small scale, in my opinion. I would bring this to a faction fight in a bandit event or something, right? Let's check together. Currently, 57, 770, average 45, so it's above average. That's what we want as a crafter. This is good when you're a crafter, okay? Sales volume, 2, 5. Sales volume, not so good, 11. All right, we can work with a 0, 0. And then this is just for good quality, for outstanding. You know, you can check the sales there. 1, 1, 1. Yeah, not good, not good. Excellent, 2. It's good enough to craft a few, okay? That's all we care about. But let's check the price now. We're going to open the item by left-clicking on it. We're going to go down. It requires a possessed scroll. Possessed scroll. Let's go ahead and type that out, and then clear search parameters. All right, so it's showing a tier 6 as the first one. That's not a good sign. Let's force tier 4 to be shown, and that there's none. There's none on the market, so yeah, what's happening? But how about if we craft one? It's 50 runes. Let's do a little bit of math. You know what? I don't feel like doing the math. The whole point of this video was we're not going to do the math. I'm just going to check neighboring cities and see if they have some I can import over. Or I could just craft them in another city. It doesn't really matter. I don't have to do it from Bridgewatch. So Limhurst has some for 2,230. We'll go with that. However, the price is much cheaper over here in Limhurst, so it's actually, what was it, Possessed Scroll? I think that's what the item was called. Yeah, so we just want the tier 4 one. We're just going to buy a tier 4 one. There we go. And then we'll just transport it. So I paid 2,200 in Limhurst, and to transport fast travel back to Bridgewatch is only 346 silver. 347, I guess it rounded up at the last second. You know, they got me for that extra silver. But now we have one, and now we can do the rest of the math. So 16 planks and 8 cloth. That's simple enough to do. We'll type plank. And you don't have to buy this before you're locked in. So 16 planks, right? That's 18,000. Oh, dude. Cheap. And then 8 cloth. All right, so 8 cloth. There we go. 15k, not bad. So there we go. We've spent barely anything at all, and we're about to make, you know, a pretty nice profit. So only 1,200 to craft. And again, you would want to craft this with, in this case, an imbuer's, you know, laborer journal. But there we go. We crafted the item, and look, we got some materials back. Time to sell. And people may be asking, why is this your favorite, like, little small-scale weapon? Well, you can heal yourself with E through stuns and silences. It cleanses crowd control effects. It heals by quite a bit over a short amount of time. And, yeah, it's, Smite is being buffed, by the way, in the next upcoming patch, so it's actually going to be completely viable to fame farm with. I think that this might possibly be best in slot for Orange Zone solo content. I'm not entirely sure on that yet. I'm still trying to figure stuff out. I'll let you guys know in a future video, but let's sell. Alright, so because I got outstanding, it's actually worth 73,000. I don't want to sell at that price. I want to sell at 57,769 so it sells faster. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to actually 57,769. This undercuts all of the other qualities by 1. I don't need to sell at this price. I've already made enough profit anyway, right? And I'm going to get back 53,147. And then selling these things back, that's another 4K. And then this is another 3K. There we go. And again, I got more back because, again, today, like I said, is 20% on Holy Staff Day. All right? And it turns out Fort Sterling is the Holy Staff capital, so I would get another 15% if I crafted over there. I can do the math over there real quick, see if it's even worth it. Do keep in mind that the orange zone gives you a 35% heal debuff on yourself, so again, I gotta test this stuff. I'm waiting for the patch to come out before I can fully run it. There's really no one to fight against me on the test server, so it's hard to test a healing build when there's no one to really hurt me. You can see here in Fort Sterling, Life Touch staffs aren't in the 50Ks, they're in the 30Ks, which is more around the price of what we paid for, which makes sense. You could also be a little risky boy, and you could craft the Life Touch staffs here in Fort Sterling, and then you could transport them to the black market. That's a big risk. It's very risky, but let's see how much we can make doing that, if we wanted to. No, the black market is not paying good on 4.2 Life Touch staffs, so this would not be worth transporting over just selling on the normal markets. Alright, so that leads us to black market crafting. If you want to craft and sell to the black market, generally it's not really profitable to craft from Caerleon because of the higher materials prices, the risk involving transporting through the red zone. If you try to transport on Asia, you're just dead. Everyone's cheating over there. There's massive gank groups. You're literally dead. West, it's a little bit easier. Not so easy on Europe, but I'm going to teach you anyway how to do it, just so you know. But I'm going to tell you also right now that the majority of people that do this are using third-party programs that scan the entirety of the black market, and then they scan all of the player markets, and they can, their little algorithm, third-party program cheating machine will tell them, buy this, craft this, buy this from the market, transport it to the black market, so on. But I'm going to show you a quick and dirty how. So, real quick, I'm just going to, here's the black market. We're actually going to sort price to highest. All right, and you'll see right now, the most expensive thing we can sell to the black market is an 8.4 enigmatic staff. I actually have one of these. And these things are probably worth like 40 million. So if I transported this, I could make a profit of 12 million, right? I'm not going to do that. That's too risky. That's stupid. We're going to set our search parameters to like 4.1. Why not? 4.1 gear. Right now, face scale robe is being offered the most, but I can tell you, we already know from earlier in the video that face scale robes are worth way more than this. So that's a dud. Here we have a prowling staff. Well, if I click prowling staff, this is a normal one, by the way. The quality super duper matters. Prowling staff, not too hard to craft. We can see that the market value of a prowling staff, just a 4.1, is worth 94,000. Can I craft one for that cheap and then transport it in? Maybe, if that's like the only thing I'm doing. But transporting takes time. So first things first is we're gonna check the Caerleon market and see if we could buy one for cheaper than that, right? And so I don't think so, because someone would have already done it. That's the thing, right? So, prowling staff. We want 4.1. There we go. So, a normal 4.1 prowling staff, 199,000. That's no bueno. And we could craft it, right? We can check the math on crafting, but here's another trick. What about flat zero? A normal flat zero is 150k. And how much are runes right now? Runes are 24 each. If I buy them at 24 each and I need 382 of them, that's 9,000. So I can actually spend 159. Let's go ahead and do it. Prowling. Okay, we're going to buy one for 150k. There we go. And then we will go to Rune and buy 384 of these. 384, yeah, at 24 each. No, 26 each. We might have to go for 28 each. Go 29, whatever. That's 11k. So there we go. Ooh, I got a lot of stuff here. Let's see. Rune. Go ahead and take all the runes. Prowl. Okay, the prowling staff's in my inventory. There we go. So we spent 150k and then another 11k. All right, so that we spent 161k. And that, how much was it on the black market? I've already forgot. We will just walk over here. And this would be faster with the mount. There's always a chance someone steals the sale from the black market too. And again, this is just a quick little rune flip. We'll go ahead and enchant this bad boy. 384 runes down the hatch. This is why you always want runes, souls, and relics in Caerleon. You never want to really sell them. And that's why they cost more too. And that's another thing too. If you get a bunch of runes that are worth like 9 or 10 silver in Bridgewatch, you could transport them to Caerleon, Get a little bit of extra out of them. A 50% extra, right? 9 to 14, that's, yeah, about 50%, not exactly. But now we have our normal quality 4.1 prowling staff, which we can then sell to the black market for how much? Let's see. Yeah, it sells at 170,000. So we made 9,000 silver. Not even after taxes, because this character does not have premium. We only made 5,000 silver. Hey, you know, profit's profit. But anyway, let's refresh here and go to 4.1 once again. Price set to highest. There we go. And this Blood Moon staff, we'll check it out now. Blood Moon staff, you know, is worth 174,000. So that's not good. Here's a, you know, an excellent quality prowling for less, right? So we're looking for something easy to craft, something cheap to craft, right? Let's see. Keep scrolling. Rootbound, how much are you worth? 53k. All right, here we go. Regular Rootbound 4.1. Let's do it once again. I'm doing this. I'm making this bit extra long because there's always people that ask. So we got a 4.1 normal quality Rootbound staff. All right, so let's do the math once again. This time without rune flipping, because that's one way to do it. All right, and that is Rootbound 4.1 normal quality, 109k. How much was it on the black market? I've already forgot. I checked the recording. It's worth 102,000. So obviously we can't buy this and make a profit. And if we rune flip it, we still can't because there's none on the market. So our only choice is to craft it, which is, you know, what I wanted to teach you next. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to open this up. We need 2 Sylvian roots. All right, so Sylvian root. We're going to, you know, just get 2 of those. Yeah, that costs 97,000. We're definitely not going to get any profit out of that. So we would have to transport this sucker in, right? And so you would just go through the black market and you would, you know, based on your crafting ability, you would just look at all the things and try to find something you could flip. Here's a tip for doing this without using memory, or using your brain, I mean. Hold the Windows button, hold Shift, and push S. That's going to put a little box that you can draw over the screen. So I'm going to draw it over this dagger pair, and that noise is my computer. Don't you worry. All right, that noise is my computer. And what that does is that snips a screenshot, and it's going to look a little something like this. And so now I have a screenshot of the item that I can just kind of drag onto my other monitor so that I know what I'm shopping for. And you could actually do this a bunch of times and do the shopping all at once instead of, you know, running back and forth between the market and the black market. And it's a lot quicker way to flip. Look at that. I can just straight up buy a dagger pair for 61,000. I don't even have to craft it. And, hey, you know, it's selling for 150k. Absolutely nice, right? So there you go. I just made 60,000. And, wait, huh? Someone beat me to it. Did someone beat me to it? I think someone beat me to it. Let's see. Scrolling down. And that's a risk that you have to take, right? Yeah, someone beat me to it. Dang it. See, look, here it is. I took a screenshot. 157k, right? Someone sold it to the black market. And, you know, dagger pair, 4.2s. Look, it's down to 1,000. So, womp womp. I lost out. All right, let's see if someone beats me to this. And again, you could craft these, you know, at a discount. But because this is so cheaply priced, that's worth 80k. And, again, I'll show you the screenshot that I just grabbed here. Boom, 108k. Let's see if we can get it in time, right? And we're running to the black market before someone else gets the sale. And got it. Boom. That's, we sold it for 99k. We bought it for 78k. That was what? I don't know, like 20k or so. So here's a crafting example. The heavy crossbow. Now, if I were to focus craft this and get some of these materials back with the bonus, or on a bonus day rather, then this would be worth crafting, because just the raw materials are going to cost me 300,000 to buy that from Carolium. That is 20, you know, 4.3 planks and 12 4.3 bars. And if I don't focus craft this, I could still maybe squeeze out a bit of profit. But here's the problem: if you craft anything higher than a normal quality, you can't downgrade the quality of an item, as far as I know. And so if you craft higher than normal quality, you get nothing. You get nothing at all. So yeah, let's see. Adept's Dagger at 265k. Well, that seems pretty cheap and easy to craft, so I can go ahead and go check that. I think you guys kind of understand the idea, but we'll just type Dagger here. 4.3 dagger, regular. I don't want the dagger pair, I just want the regular dagger. Yeah, see, that's a little too much. And crafting it is 12 and 12, so I would type bar, and then I would just type 12 into this box, and that's going to cost me 100k. Right, and then it was leather, I believe, and then typing, 12 into this is another 100k. So yeah, I can craft the one-handed dagger, the 4.3 one-handed dagger, and make a profit, like just before any returns, okay? But what I have to hope is that no one else does it. All right, so do I pull the trigger for that amount? Maybe. Right, let's watch me fail here. We've got 12 bars, 106k, and then a leather, 12 leather. Let's go. All right, that's another 102k. And again, we have to craft a regular quality one, dude. So again, we're gambling. We're gambling a little bit. But my dagger crafting pretty crappy. That would be Hunter Lodge. Let's see. Time is of the essence with this black market stuff because someone else could also be doing this right now. But hey, I got the what is this creature? This is a moose. Yeah, we got the moose out. All right. And I don't even know if this is the cheapest one. It's just cheap enough, so I'm just going to run to it real quick. And we're going to go ahead and... is it... Yeah, there's dagger. And then I didn't pick up the items from the damn market. Alright, here we go. We need normal quality. No whammies. Let's go normal quality. Don't eat a salad. And we got it. Yes. Now we have to get back to that black market and sell. And, we got a little bit of returns. If you focus... Look, I'm telling you right now. If you focus craft it, you have a higher chance of not getting the normal quality. But you get more returns on the materials, and I'm not going to focus craft it because I'm not a dagger crafter, but let's see if we got the sale. And we did. Cha-ching. Look at that. We profited 44k there, and then when we sell this stuff back, that's another 24k, so we made 64,000. Not bad, but again, it is a little bit butt-puckering, a little bit butt-clinching. Alright, and I'm just going to sell order these because that's how you get your money back. Alright, cool. Now, my biggest tip is that if you go onto the server right when the server restarts in the morning or evening, wherever you live, you check the activities, you see a 20% here, so like 20% holy staff. If you are one of the first people to log into the server, you see that 20% bonus, you go on here, you slap, like 4.0, and then you go to category, magic, holy staff. All right. And, wow, I did it on the wrong thing, but you get the idea. Oh, man. Yeah, we don't edit this, right? Price highest. Hey, look, Hallow Falls, right? Now, of course, when you get on early in the morning, no one's going to have made these deals yet. So these numbers would all be much higher, right? Okay, yeah, that's a bad deal. And you're just looking for good deals for, freaking Hallow Falls, bro. Let's see, 4.2. Yeah, everyone's already, like, done these for the day, so I can't show you a good example. All right. And again, you don't have to stop at tier 4. You can go flat 5. Flat 5 Hallow Fall. How much you worth? Yeah, not worth it. Okay. Again, with the freaking Hallow Falls. We have a great holy masterpiece. Redemption staff, huh? Nope, not worth. Cool. And what? Great holy, maybe worth a little bit. A little bit of potential there. Let's go high up. Let's go tier 8 stuff. Divine, 8.4. Man, I have so many 8.4s. Okay, let's go flat 8. Flat 8. Anything Hallow Fall? Nope. Something easier to craft. Not that I can craft tier 8. Just a regular tier 8 holy staff. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you can see that, like, this whole category is blown out for the day, right? But what you can also do is, if you have a bunch of... That's not what I wanted. If you have a bunch of materials, and you craft a bunch of holy staffs of different varieties in Caerleon or whatever, you wait a week or two, and then you open this sucker up, and all the prices will be way higher. So that's another little tip for you. All right, so let's talk about Smugglers Hideouts now. You can't craft from these, but you can craft and deliver to them, okay? So, what's the best things to craft for Smugglers Hideouts? You're going to have higher level crafting for this. 7.1 and, like, tier 8 stuff is probably best. Let's just look at melee weapons real quick. 7.1 melee. Halberds, glaives. Here, let's try Battle Axe. Battle Axe is pretty well used. All right, you can see right now, this battle axe, this 7.1 is being sold at 509,000, estimated market value 354K, right? And here, I'm at River Copse Fount. That's where I'm at. That's why it has a 0. 473K versus 352K. So if I crafted a 7.1 battle axe, right? And I'm not sure. Let me do some quick math and see how much this is worth. All right, just to craft this without a bonus, it cost me about 600K. And then after the bonuses on a bonus day, I'd probably get half that back. So I could craft this for, in the best possible scenario, without a Blackzone guild and hideouts, I could craft this at 325,000, right? And if I sold it here at the lowest possible price, I would, you know, make 120K profit. But it runs the risk of me having to go to the hideout, which channel members have a little trick. There's a way to transport to hideouts with very tiny amount of risk, the tiniest amount of risk. But I'm not going to show the channel membership stuff. They already know how to do it, and anyone with a high IQ can figure out how to do it on their own. I'm not going to tell you, though. That's a channel member only secret. Click the join button down below. Anyway, the point is that you can craft higher tier gear, and the reason I'm using higher tier gear and a hideout is because this is where guilds go to re-gear. They jump in one of these, they buy their set after they die, and they go back out and fight their guild versus guild wars. Now, the thing is that right now I'm actually it's off season, like guild season overview. There's not guild stuff going on right now, so the prices are very low. But during the biggest part of the guild season, which is usually around the middle of it, so if a guild season lasts, I don't know how many days, but if it lasts 40 days, at the 20th day, that's when the prices skyrocket, because that's when everyone's fighting really freaking hard to get their points and their territories and all that other guild crap. So that's when you want to sell to them. And using the hideouts, it's the safest way to do it, because when they're at the rests or their own hideouts, like Smugglers hideouts, they can just buy from wherever. Like you can see, like this one's being sold from Merlin's Rest, Sawnfang Wasteland. You can go all the way down, Bleach Skull Desert, so on and so forth. So that's where guildies are generally gearing up. They're not buying in the royals and then transporting, because they don't have time in the middle of a fight. Time is of the essence. They have to buy and go. That's their guild's orders. And yes, I'm aware that Battle Axe is not a ZVZ weapon, okay, but it is a PvP weapon. All right. Whereas Realm Breaker 7.1, look at the cost on this sucker, right? 647K is the estimated normal market value, and you know, it's basically double here. You know, if I buy from Arthur's Rest, whatever, right? So yeah, you can make more profit with the ZVZ weapons, absolutely, but don't rule out the Blackzone PvP weapons as well. Also, if you're wondering what is the best journal to use for crafting, it's a Tier 8 Tinkerer's Journal, alright? Those are just the best ones. And anyway, that's the video. I'm not going to go too much into the journal stuff, but yeah, that's the video. Let me know if you have any questions. You know, leave a comment, alright? And I never ask you guys to like a video. I think that's, if more of you did click like, the videos will get more views. I'm not really too interested in the like button. Whatever. Do whatever you want, but you have to click the video on the right side of your screen, because if you don't, in 2 weeks, you're going to get a really bad Charlie horse when you sleep. It's going to cramp up, it's going to hurt, and you're going to wish you clicked that video.